The Dan and Matt Show! Hey!
Welcome everybody. The Dan and Matt Show. Finally. The Dan and Matt Show has come back.
Oh, I'm so
to
hyped.
YouTube.
Finally.
A year and a half ago, we started a movement. We made the Dan and Matt Show.
Yes.
We had 3 episodes, but we loved shooting it, and we still do apparently. So this is our official return.
Comeback. And this is definitely for a longer time, a long time.
This is going to be more frequent.
Yes.
Hopefully we're going to make more than 3 episodes now. We probably will. Yeah. So, if you're wondering why it took a year and a half, well, you want to explain it?
Yeah, I can explain. So, life kind of hit in that sense. Life got in between and life, happened because I had an internship in China for half a year. So I went to China, and I mean, it was hard to communicate from China.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of issues there with like Wi-Fi, and the government doesn't actually permit you to do stuff with Facebook and YouTube and blah blah blah. It's all censored and cut off. So it was hard to communicate, and it was obviously impossible to make podcasts.
Yeah.
And collaborate with people over in the Netherlands or other countries. So that was hard. So that didn't happen for half a year. Then I came back for 3 weeks or something, and then I went to America for another half year of study there. 6 months. Had a great time. America is great. Yo, America. And if the American people now listening.
America's great. America's terrific country. Fantastic.
Billions.
Huge.
It's great. The people are great. The food is great. The country is so beautiful. There, the nature there. I was in Minnesota, and they have 10,000 lakes. It is so beautiful.
Yeah,
that
that's
country
nice.
is alive. It's breathing life. It's hyped. It's great. Every day there's no boring day in America.
Right.
Every day something happens, and you just accept it and you live your life there. It was great. I loved America.
Yeah.
So then I came back now, and now I'm staying. I'm back in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And I just missed making this podcast.
Yeah, me too, man.
So
it's been
much.
way too long.
Yeah, and I'm hyped that we're back, and I am excited to make more.
Yeah, me too, man. Because
Definitely.
2018 is gonna hold a lot of cool stuff.
Yes,
A lot of great movies, and we're definitely gonna talk about all of the great stuff that's gonna happen in 2018.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, we are finally back. We have returned. So now, today, we have a great show for you guys.
Oh yeah, we have a great show prepared.
All right, so this week, the Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer dropped. So we're going to give you our thoughts on that. We are also going to talk about the highly anticipated movie, Black Panther.
Oh my man,
It's so close to release, man. Woo, I'm hyped for that.
I'm so hyped.
But even more, Infinity War. God, that movie... We're going to get into that later. Also, after that, we're going to have probably a heated discussion about The Last Jedi. We just kind of want to give our final last thoughts on that. I know everyone has already probably made videos about that, but we just want to kind of get some stuff of ours out there.
Yeah.
And we're also going to talk about a little bit about the Justice League movie. Our quick thoughts.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to have some other great topics. So, how about we just get right into it?
Yeah.
All right, Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, we just watched the trailer.
Yep.
And, kind of first thoughts for you? What did you think?
Yo, it's one of those movies, right? They're making it. It's out there. Is it gonna have a huge influence on the main storyline, the main storyline of the cinematic universe? Probably
not. No. I mean, in this great year of superhero movies, I mean, we got Black Panther coming out. It's completely different, an all-black superhero movie, which I think is awesome, by the way.
Great.
About freaking time.
Yes.
Then we're gonna get Infinity War, which is gonna be larger than life.
I mean,
and then we're gonna get Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I was pretty excited for actually, because I really liked the first Ant-Man, but kind of like with the first Ant-Man, it came out right after Age of Ultron. So it's kind of like the same thing now with first an Avengers movie and then Ant-Man, and then so people are kind of like, I guess it's kind of anticlimactic for people.
And
now, yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
Where are you? I mean, if you need to make a choice on where to put your money, right? I mean, it's not a choice at this point. You're gonna go to like Black Panther this year. You're gonna go to Infinity War. You're gonna go to the big names. And
yeah.
For me, it almost feels like one of those movies that, in like a couple of months, I'm gonna probably buy it online and just watch it and be like, "Oh, it was fun."
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like the first Ant-Man. I mean, it was fun.
It was.
I don't think
movie.
it's going to be a bad movie by any means.
No.
I'm still going to see it. It'll probably be like a fun action movie, but it won't be anything new or different. You know, like Thor was very different.
Yes.
Black Panther is very different. Infinity War is like ginormous, and then Ant-Man is just kind of there.
And I mean, I love the character. The character is great. The actor. He is Ant-Man. He is the guy for the role.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I was pretty excited for it, and then the trailer dropped, and I was just not that impressed. I was just waiting to be impressed, and I was just like, there's not much here I can really get all that excited about. I mean, Wasp looks cool. That's one.
Yeah.
But, you know, other than that, I thought we were gonna get some awesome like giant man shots or
like some epic stuff, right?
Yeah, like giant man like ripping helicopters out of the sky.
Yeah,
it's you know,
the trailer for me, it felt a little bit like weirdly based, because you get like shots and they get some shots and he like got the big building and it becomes small and blah blah, and you're wondering, right? Who's the villain? Who's the villain?
There was no real villain. It was just like, okay, shots, things like
smaller,
Wasp,
bigger,
Ant-Man, you know, characters we've seen before, and just like, who is the villain?
It doesn't say a lot about a movie, and in that sense, you could call it a good trailer because
it didn't spoil that much. It wasn't like Amazing Spider-Man 2, but
does create hype.
Not that much because it didn't show that much.
And in that sense, it's like a good comparison maybe to the movie, like, because the movie is not going to change, but it's just going to be a movie, a comedy movie, with some great visuals, and it's Marvel. I mean, their track record is so on point and so good right now that every project that they do, we kind of expect greatness. Yeah,
we trust in Marvel now.
Yeah, we trust them.
They haven't missed a beat, you know.
I mean, if you compare them to DC, at this point, it's like Marvel is that cool kid in class. Everybody likes him.
Yeah, and then DC is just trying to keep up.
Yeah, because like Marvel's that kid. Like, he gets the good grades, he gets the girlfriend. Teachers like him. He always shows up in the morning in class, and he's super great. And like DC's the kid. He's putting in the work, but he has some bad friends. And the bad friends have a bad influence on him, and that's why he has like bad grades and he has no friends and blah blah.
Yeah, that's, you know, unfortunately that's reality kind of now.
Yep.
So, do we want to say anything more about Ant-Man and the Wasp? I think we kind of said everything, because there's not really much to go off of that. I mean, all right, we'll just go to the next topic, the highly anticipated movie Black Panther.
Yeah, so this movie, I am so hyped for this for a lot of reasons. Like, for like, first reason, of course, it's Black Panther. I love the character. I love the whole reasoning behind it. I love his backstory. I love the fact that like they use a lot of black actors, of course. And there's this meme going around on the internet that is the first movie with a black superhero. Of course it isn't, because we got stuff like Blade, and we have like the series like Black Lightning coming on Netflix right now. And I think it's a great year for black actors in that sense, and we're coming up, and
like just the whole black community
Yeah.
Just in the world, like every black person in the world. I mean, it's like a full black cast. That's awesome.
And that doesn't happen a lot, and it's actually bad in that sense that it doesn't happen a lot, and that's why this movie is in that sense really important as well.
Yeah, it's a big game changer for hopefully the future, and just the way kind of Hollywood casts their movies and like makes them really, because a lot of superhero movies are like white male centered, Captain America, Thor, Superman, Batman, all that stuff. But now we got Black Panther, and it's a great step in the right direction.
And that's in that sense, 2018 is like often to a good start. And even the soundtrack, Kendrick Lamar, he did most of the soundtrack, and they released a track list, and I'm so hyped for that.
Yeah,
and
I heard about that. I haven't heard any of the songs, but
I haven't heard any of the songs because I don't want to listen to them before I watch the movie.
Right.
But Kendrick Lamar, he is. You could state that he is the best rapper and the best rapper at this point in time,
right?
Because he's great, and the stuff that he has put out is super great, and it's a great thing and a awesome thing. And he's working on the soundtrack for this movie. Yeah. So the movie has everything's going it's hitting all the points. This is going to be a good movie. It's going to be a good movie, and also iconic and a good piece.
Yeah.
And I have seen some reactions on stuff from people that have already seen it. And lines, and they just say it is now the best Marvel movie. And they say it with Thor, Thor Ragnarok as well.
They pretty much always say that every new Marvel movie that comes out is well, this is the new best Marvel movie.
And that is so good, right? Because the Marvel, I really don't know how to do it, but they keep making good stuff.
Yeah, somehow they do it, man.
And they revamp characters.
Yeah,
they introduce characters. Because with the stuff that they did with Thor, for instance, it is weird if you think about it. That because if you compare the old Thor to the Thor that they have now, it is a completely
different, yeah.
Because the old Thor wasn't that goofy. The old Thor wasn't that chill and blah blah, making jokes, blah blah. But the Thor now,
they completely changed him.
They changed him up, and everybody just accepts it, and it works.
Yeah, it works. It worked really well.
Yeah, and even with the Hulk, that they in the beginning, the Hulk was just if he turns into the Hulk, he's a green guy, he's shouting, blah blah, and his vocabulary was really limited.
Yeah,
it didn't say a lot. In Thor Ragnarok,
he was speaking
dialogue, and he seems like an upstanding, great character and person.
Yeah, and they make the Hulk really funny now.
Yeah,
and Banner too. I was really surprised when all the Bruce Banner stuff.
Yep.
Usually the Banner stuff you don't really care about, and then when the Hulk comes on, it's that's what you go to see.
Yep.
But I was actually really surprised. Banner was really freaking funny, man.
Yeah.
Banner stuff was hilarious, and just the fact that he's as Banner, he can't really do much.
Yeah.
But still, they made it work. He flew the spaceship, and it was really funny, man.
I think that's interesting how Marvel they pick these characters, and then they're okay, we are gonna do this and this with it, and they know what they're doing. And sometimes people question their choices, but then they just bring out a movie, and everybody's oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, just like with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
3.5 years ago now.
Yeah, nobody knew those characters.
No, and now they kind of changed the game, because Thor is, I believe, heavily inspired by Guardians of the Galaxy with the 80s style and the music and all that stuff. And the humor.
Yep, it's great. And Marvel knows what they're doing, and they are so on point. And with making a movie full of black characters, I think they are stepping up the game, and not only for superhero movies, but movies in general. And you got this great show now that Charles Gambino made. It's called Atlanta. It's a good TV show. That show got some awards and stuff, and it's a full black cast almost. Super great. So that's good for the black community. And then you got Black Lightning. It's a Netflix show now.
Is that any good?
I watched the first episode. Yo,
I saw the trailer, and I was like, this looks... Unfortunately, this looks pretty bad.
Yeah, like you said, unfortunately is the good word. It could be really cool, but I saw the first episode. It was out on Netflix. I watched it. It didn't do much for me. The suit looks kind of plasticky. The story was the characters were a little bit irritating. It seemed really cheap.
Right. Well, it was CW, right?
Yeah.
So
the CW track record. I mean, I have watched 2 seasons of Supergirl. First season was good. Second season, I think second or third season, the CW took over. Just went downhill from there.
yeah, I mean, the same thing with Arrow.
Yeah,
I mean, I really liked the first two seasons. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. And then with the third one, it already went downhill for me. And then the fourth season, I watched the first 5 episodes. And then I was like, what is this, man?
What are you guys doing? There needs to be a point that you stop, or you like invest in a new character and then just riff off from there and stop the main, just because
I mean, you know, with Arrow, like at first he was the Arrow. He was like the only like guy that could really, you know, do something and actually fight and take out bad guys.
And but then makes sense.
Yeah, it made sense because he trained for so long. But then, like in the later seasons, like everyone is like, you know, everyone is like a badass and can do anything with like 2 weeks of training.
Yeah, and that because that iconic scene that he has the bar and he jumps up and
the salmon ladder.
Yeah, that was so on point. I was like, whoa,
yeah,
he is a beast.
Yeah,
and that's because he was on the island and he trained and he went through a lot of hardships. But then they like kept calling back to the island and reveals upon reveals upon reveals, and I was like, how long did this man stay on this island?
Yeah.
I mean,
and then he left the island and he did all kinds of weird stuff, and it was just no.
Yeah, I tapped out.
It was weird.
But yeah, I think Marvel is doing a great job with this movie. Soundtrack is good. There are some reactions in and people saying it's great. And I'm just hyped, straight up hyped.
Me too, man.
We're probably gonna watch it in the cinema.
Yep.
We need to get some tickets, and then you'll hear about it, and probably like next week or the week after on the podcast.
Yep. Absolutely.
But we are both hyped, and it's gonna be a great movie.
It's probably gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go to the next topic, and it is the Avengers: Infinity War.
Yeah, let me hear your thoughts on that.
I mean, where to start? Man, when that trailer came out, I lost my mind, like the whole world, pretty much.
Yeah. Like
the whole world just kind of united because of this Avengers trailer. That's actually pretty cool that in these times, these hard times of the world, that people can still come together
to watch
like all over the world for one movie.
Yeah.
So that kind of like gave you like a sense of community and like, you know, like not everyone is evil, you know, like people still love the same things and people want to come together and all that stuff. So that was pretty cool actually. But in terms of the actual movie, God, Cap with a beard, that just and like the shield glove things. I don't really know what that is, but catch this man's shield.
That was
awesome.
Oh,
yeah.
I think it's literally the best trailer I have seen in my life. Yeah, for me at least. For me.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, it was awesome, man. And like the final shot, like the money shot of all of them running.
No,
with you know everyone, like that's a great team, man. Cap, Black Panther, Hulk, everyone.
It's there's so much hype for this movie because like what we always said, what we also said with Civil War, it feels like we've been building up to this movie for such a long time.
Yeah, for 10 years.
We have waited, we have cried, we have sweat, we have made videos. This man here, he has made stop motions. We are so high. The anticipation is so high, and I feel like they're gonna deliver.
I hope so, because they pretty much did with Civil War.
Yeah,
but this is just a whole different animal, man. This is like 60 main characters or something.
It is.
It's crazy, man. Like just from a writer's perspective, like how do you do this?
It is so
you have
hard.
So many characters. Like how do you make this into a coherent story
that makes sense? That doesn't feel crowded and that does the characters justice.
Yeah, because you want to make every character shine. So every character has to do at least something cool. So how do you do that without it feeling forced or whatever.
And we all know that we need to kill off some people.
Yes,
We
some
need to.
characters are probably gonna die.
And how do you fit that in this movie where you're introducing probably a lot of new characters as well, and you
Yeah.
have this whole big like world-ending fight stuff. It's
And Thanos is coming in, and he has his Black Order or something. So it's 5 new characters in there.
and he needs
and
to
then-
do crisp because he's CGI. So
Yeah, I mean, like, there's so many stories, like so many characters with different paths and things, and how do you make that into one story? And probably some characters are going to die.
yep,
Maybe not in this one, but definitely in Avengers 4.
yep.
But if they die in this one, then like you have to set up Thanos, you have to set up the battle, and you have to kill someone off, and have him or her, have a decent send off.
Yeah,
Like it's not like,
I need
like
another character to
Quicksilver.
step up the game as well because this place needs to be filled, and
yeah.
it is so hard. It is so complicated.
Like
as well.
how is that movie not going to be 5.5 hours long?
Yeah.
Like, with so many characters, how can you, bog that down to 2.5 hours?
And if they make it 5.5 hours long, I wouldn't care.
No,
I mean,
I would be
watch
there
that.
in the theater, and I will watch the whole thing. I don't care. Just make it as long as you need. I will watch everything. I mean, that's the thing with Marvel. They just trust Marvel. People love these characters. I don't think people really give
Yeah,
they don't really give a crap about, if the movie's like longer than it should be, because
Yeah.
they just want to see these characters and they want to see these stories play out.
Mm-hmm.
So don't go the Justice League route where you just cut everything out.
Yeah, because that's the flip side of the coin, right? They're like, oh, well, we want this movie to be this and this amount of time, so we might as well cut it out.
Yeah,
Because, like, if it's that long, then people won't watch it or blah, 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 blah.
yeah.
And then you get a movie like Justice League.
Where it's just chopped up and it feels discombobulated and it doesn't feel like a whole. But, that's kind of because of the Zack Snyder, Joss Whedon thing.
Yeah. And you can't
Joss
blame
Whedon,
Joss Whedon.
No, you can't blame Joss Whedon. I don't think it's Joss Whedon's fault, man. He tried to make the best of it. I mean, he had, like, parts of a movie and he had to do something with it.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it's his fault.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, he made it, pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he actually, he managed to still do something with it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it
still a
wasn't
movie.
terrible. I don't think it's terrible.
No.
I mean, like the whole opening scene with Batman, that was all Joss Whedon.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great scene.
And I feel like what we always say, there is a good movie in there. It is in there.
There is somewhere in there. There is a good
Somewhere in
movie.
there. And there's a coherent movie in there with like a normal storyline
Yeah.
and characters being introduced in a normal way. Because the whole cyborg part, if you don't know anything about cyborg, that was super weird.
Yeah.
'Cause
Like there's no explanation for how he is
that person and how it is growing on him and how the link with the mother box and stuff and how it's the technology. There's no explanation for
There's
that.
like a few scenes where he kind of figures something out with his,
Body and-
robotic stuff, but there's not much to go on. But apparently there was more, but they cut it out. So
and the whole Aquaman scene when he is in the water and then they get attacked. So the
Steppenwolf,
yeah, the guy, he comes in and Aquaman gets hit, like, and he gets hit, and then the guy steals and just goes away. He's so weak.
yeah, he just like,
He's
and then
so-
he left, and then he just like, it doesn't bother him at all. He just like doesn't care.
He didn't give a single flip at that point. And then
then,
Mira's like, "Oh, Aquaman, you need to protect our people." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, okay."
Okay, yeah. And then Batman goes to him and he says like, "No, I'm not gonna do this." And then they're in the harbor, and then just Aquaman shows up. He just all of a sudden he's made up his mind and he knows exactly where they are.
Yep.
And he just comes there. I mean, it was cool the way he entered, but if
it
you think
didn't
about it,
make
like,
any sense.
how did he do that? But
And that didn't make any sense. And then the whole part in the ending,
Superman.
where they are, no, but that even not talking about that part, but when they are like fighting and they are losing so hard, they are like getting wrecked, they're getting destroyed. Superman comes in, saves the day.
Yeah.
Saves the day.
Like
This
Justice
team,
League can't do anything.
this team is redundant without Superman.
Yeah, it's like 99% is Superman, and then the 1% is like the rest of the Justice League.
Yeah, and I would even say it's 99% Superman, and then 0.5% the Flash, because he can save people and run blah blah.
Yeah.
And then 0.5% is like, you know, Batman and blah blah. Because there's even a shot where Superman is fighting the guy, and then a Superman goes away, and then Wonder Woman jumps in. She gets flipping wrecked for like 2 minutes. Superman comes in and like just destroys him. It is sad.
Yep. And like Superman saves a bunch of people, and then he comes back and he's like, "Is this guy still bothering you?" And then he just punches him in the ground and just completely owns him.
And I think Joss Whedon knew that he was that it was bad, but he just couldn't. It's impossible. When you already have a storyline that's existing, but there's holes in it, and they're like, fill those holes with some cool scenes.
Yeah, I mean, he had like an almost impossible task.
Yeah,
but he
did a good job.
He did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
you know, he made something of it. He did his best. It's not Joss Whedon's fault. I don't think.
I hope DC starts stepping up the game.
Yeah, the only DC movie this year, I believe, is Aquaman.
Yeah, but is that going to be good? I'm scared.
I don't know. I mean, James Wan is directing it, so that's pretty cool. But judging from what we've seen in Justice League, it could be cool. But I don't know how Aquaman is gonna, how that's gonna. I don't know.
I am scared because if they keep dishing out movies that don't make sense, people are losing faith at this point.
People have already lost faith, I think, after Justice League. Like, you know, people are pretty much like, Justice League was like their final shot at redemption, and then this happened. Like, Justice League happened, and now people are like, man, what is this?
It is such a forgettable movie.
I mean, the Justice League stuff is cool, because the kid in you wants to see the Justice League.
I know.
But as a, you know, like plot wise and as a movie as a whole, it doesn't really make any sense. I mean, the Amazon stuff was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, that's the thing. There's like cool scenes in there, but as a whole, it just doesn't make any sense.
And pretty much all the cool scenes are probably Joss Whedon.
But maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, but
Zack Snyder, I don't hate Zack Snyder. No. But
just him leaving wasn't good for this movie.
Nope.
Definitely not.
But, you know, he pretty much had no choice. But
it is sad that we have this big epic Marvel cinematic universe.
Yeah, and then
hitting
DC
all the
is
points.
and
then DC is just,
you know, I want those DC movies to be better. You know, I love Batman, I love Superman, you know, I love the Justice League, but I just can't love the Justice League because the movies just aren't that good.
Yep.
Unfortunately. But Wonder Woman is still cool.
Yeah, and that's weird.
Yeah, but that's really because it's kind of like separated from the other movies. Yeah. It's like her own origin story. And yeah, I really liked Wonder Woman. I thought it was really cool.
The music was like...
The music, like...
That was great. Yeah. Just great. It fitted so well.
Yep.
It was great. Wonder Woman was a good movie. And it's like what you say. It's like standalone. It's separate from everything. It's just a good movie.
The standalone movies are, you know, like just like Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I still really like Man of Steel.
That was epic.
Yeah. And Wonder Woman was really cool. But then you have Batman v Superman and Justice League. And it's just... They somehow don't know how to do an ensemble movie with multiple characters. They just can't somehow figure out what to do with it.
What I need to do is just wait for Infinity War.
and then just take notes. And it's like, okay, how do they do this? We'll do that.
Just do that. And then, you know...
But they can't really do that because they haven't set up all those characters as well as Marvel did.
Yeah, they didn't. They just into Justice League and they just...
It's like, okay, we have a Justice League now. Even though you don't really know anything about these characters.
You don't know Aquaman, you don't know Cyborg, you don't know The Flash.
No, and that's the thing. With the first Avengers, it works so well because you know Captain America, you know Thor, you know Iron Man. And then when they come together, it's like, oh yeah.
You are hyped because all these movies, they made you stoked. They made you hyped. You wanted this movie. The Justice League just seems like, we want money. So
yeah, we just need to compete with Marvel.
yeah,
But it's the thing, when Avengers came out, it was the biggest thing in the world, man. It's still like the second highest grossing movie of all
Yep.
time or something.
yep.
Like everyone saw that movie and everyone was talking about it, and just the internet and everything just blew up. And Avengers was amazing when it came out, and everyone was hyped. And then now with the Justice League, like it's not the same.
It's just not the same feeling. There's not the same hype. It's sad.
It's oh man, even back when Avengers came out, I was like, man, if a Justice League movie ever came out, and if it's like it's as good as Avengers, then the world will break.
Yeah.
And now we have a Justice League, and it's
And
just
it's
like
just not.
not the same.
And even if you look at and DC is not running that per se, but the Flash TV series, first season was great. Second season, cool. Third season, kind of going downhill here, but it's still pretty cool. Viewing is going down as well. And now the fourth season, it's something, but it's losing its vigor, it's losing its fire, it's losing its shine, and it just feels like the DC cinematic stuff, DC cinematic movies, series, and stuff like that. It's all a little bit going downhill.
Yeah, apparently. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah, unfortunately. And they have chances, definitely. But they need to take them.
Yeah, Justice League was kind of their last shot, and it didn't really do much for the DC Cinematic Universe. So,
and I heard that they are working on a movie called The Batman. But
yeah,
that's completely separate. It's not run by DC or anything. It's just a separate movie, right?
yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I think it's still in production, but that movie I think is in production hell because Ben Affleck doesn't want to do it. First he was going to direct it, and then now he's not directing it anymore, and maybe Ben Affleck's going to stop playing Batman.
Ugh.
So I don't know what's happening. Only time will tell. But Infinity War.
Yeah.
Infinity War. It looks incredible. Like the fight scenes, it's like armies
Huge.
charging. It's like Lord of the Rings with superheroes.
Yeah.
Thanos. People have complained about Thanos. Apparently, he doesn't have his armor. He kind of looks like purple Bruce Willis or something.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he looked that bad. I'm interested to see what Thanos is going to do. Apparently, Kevin Feige said that in the first 5 minutes of Infinity War, you're going to see what a badass Thanos is and why he's like the biggest, baddest villain the Avengers ever had to face. So we'll see.
Because they changed him up a little bit from the old Thanos. Because you get the old one, and then you see the CGI, and his face is different from the current one.
Yeah.
And I think the current one is way better.
Yeah.
It looks way more I don't want to say human, but it looks, you can see there's more detail, and it looks better, and blah, blah. And you see that one scene, that tidbit in the trailer, where he, hits Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And Spider-Man is wearing,
the Iron Spider suit,
yeah.
and he just slams
and
him
he just
into the
slams
ground.
him on the ground. And that's he had 2 stones.
Yeah. And he
he's
punches
already
Iron Man.
And he's already that strong. He can already just toss people around.
Yeah.
So
what happens when he gets all of them? He can just do anything, really.
pretty much. So that
So
movie,
it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to beat him because he seems, unbeatable, really, especially with all the Infinity Stones.
And I personally hope they don't. I hope they don't beat him, and that it's one of those movies that ends on a sad tone, but there's hope
For the next one.
And that's because what is the next topic, by the way?
The next topic, we could talk about Last Jedi.
Yeah, so okay, this leads into the Last Jedi one. With the Last Jedi, in that sense, it ends on a high note, but not that high because the rebellion is almost completely destroyed. There's not many people left. They called up their friends, but nobody reacted. Blah, blah. But I think the new movie, because the name of the movie is always in the beginning credits scene with the text, with the floating text. And I think the new movie is gonna be called A Spark of Hope. That is my prediction.
A spark of hope.
Yeah, because it was in the text, and they keep talking about like hope in the movie and blah blah. And I think a spark of hope is what they need now to like light the fire of the rebellion again.
Yeah.
So I think the movie is going to be called A Spark of Hope.
Spark of hope. That is interesting. I honestly don't know what they're gonna do with the ninth movie. Because The Last Jedi, I mean, it left things pretty open, but it also kind of ended it in a weird way, I thought. I mean, like, they're, like, you know, Leia and Poe, they're on a ship, and they're flying in space somewhere, and they're going somewhere.
Yeah.
And were they all on that ship, by the way?
Yeah.
They're like, all on the Falcon or something?
They're all on the Falcon. What is left of the rebellion, what is like, it seemed like 40, 20, 30 people. I mean,
so they're probably going to go somewhere to find more people for the rebellion, but I honestly don't know what they're going to do with the ninth one.
I think it's going to be more of the war in that sense between Kylo and Rey, and then the war in themselves as well, because it seems really black and white now. Like Kylo chose the dark side, and Rey chose light. But I think they're gonna have more struggle like internally, and what they need to do with the world in that sense, because they're the people that need to decide at this point. And is Rey gonna start a new Jedi Order, or is he gonna just like do nothing with the Jedi Order and just be the light and then move on when she eventually passes away, that she's gonna just give the new power to somebody else? Or is Kylo gonna start like a new Dark Order or like attack, or is he gonna chase the rebels? Or what is he gonna do? There's a lot of like stuff they can do,
right?
And I think it's gonna be great. But the opinion on the last movie, The Last Jedi, the opinions are really diverse.
Yeah.
Some people
love it, and some people absolutely hate it.
Some people think it's redundant. Some people think it's a stupid movie.
Some people think it's the worst movie they've ever seen.
Yep. Some people.
I'm kind of in the middle, which is almost impossible nowadays. But I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of in the middle. I mean, I liked it. I didn't hate it. I liked it, but I also thought it was kind of weird. I much prefer The Force Awakens. I watched The Force Awakens the night before I saw Last Jedi, and I was just like, man, Force Awakens is just
great movie.
So much cooler than Last Jedi. But that's just my opinion.
And I feel like it's a great movie, and it is hard to overshadow The Force Awakens, partly because it was like, it was the big comeback one.
Yeah, that's true.
It was epic. And you see, when you're watching that movie, you feel like the directors are like, okay, we need to make this the most epic stuff ever, because people need to be reined in again.
Yeah.
And we need to bring the new people as well, the new generation, like young Star Wars fans. So they did a great job on that. And I feel like in this movie, what they're doing is a lot of world building. It's building. It's like bringing on a lot of characters, showing the struggle in Kylo, showing the struggle in Rey, showing like erasing some of the old characters, killing Snoke. Luke Skywalker is gone. Almost killing the rebellion. So you erase all of those characters. And like setting up for like a big, a big epic comeback of good and new rebellion, new people, new characters. They're setting up a lot of stuff, and that's what this movie is for me. And I think that's in that sense a really great movie, but it's kind of slow in the beginning, and it picks up in the later half, just right after Rey decides to fly away in the Millennium Falcon to go back to Finn and stuff. Then for me, the movie starts picking up. But yeah, it is a different movie than The Force Awakens.
Very different, yeah.
It is very different.
But it's much more like character-focused movie, I think.
Yeah.
Because of Rey, they really dive into the psychology of Rey and Kylo, and how they're sort of linked. Mm-hmm. They're kind of the same, but not. And the whole stuff with Rey and Luke. Mm-hmm. Well.
And I feel like the characters that they introduce and then, for instance, kill with like the purple lady who flies the space thing into that was for me. She was being built up, and I was like, "Oh, she's great, and I didn't expect her to die. And then when that happened, I was like, "Whoa!" And I in the cinema when I was watching it in America, people gasped and people were silent, and it was a hard moment.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was a great scene, but I just think they should have done it with a different character, because I just didn't like that purple-haired character.
Yeah, but I thought she was great.
It was. I thought her sacrifice was just sort of unearned. I mean, you could see it coming from a mile away. It's like, okay, she's she stays in the ship by herself. Okay. It's like, okay, she's gonna sacrifice herself. Okay, I get it. But I just feel, she was kind of like a prick, like the whole movie, and then at the end she magically redeems herself, and then
no, but the redemption makes
sacrifices.
Sense. Because like when she redeemed herself, she was like, okay, I was lying. I was just, because if she would have told Poe would have done something super impulsive and stupid probably, because he's a very impulsive guy, and if he wants to do something, he does it. Even when he sent Finn and the Asian girl, I forgot her name. He sent them to like get the stuff to like hack into
something.
Yeah, something, and then like blah blah. He's very impulsive, and he acts on his impulse. He's like, I want to do this, so I do it. And when he even like went into the control room and closed the door and was shooting, blah blah blah, he's super impulsive. And I think Leia and her knew, so they were like, we better not tell him about this because he's probably going to do something stupid. And then when she revealed, she was like, oh, so all of the stuff that you were doing was just to help us. And then it felt like, okay, this character's cool, and then I just kill her off.
Yeah.
So that was it for me. It felt like, whoa, that is sad that she died, but she had a good death, a heroic death, and she went through a lot of struggles, because she was like lying, and you even see it sometimes in her face. Because I watched it like a second time. You see like there's like some pain in her face, or something when she's watching Poe do some stuff, and it feels like the redemption then makes more sense because like, okay, she redeemed herself now, and then she dies, but it's like, wow, she did a good job, and she deserves praise in that sense.
Yeah. Well, it was a cool scene. It was a cool sort of like sacrifice scene. But I mean, it's a character, she's introduced in the movie, and then you don't really care about her. I mean, I didn't. I was like, who is this? And she's not telling the plan, and she's annoying, and then all of a sudden she turns out to be a good guy, and then talks to Leia, and Leia's like, oh yeah, you're good, and this and that. And then she sacrifices herself, and I was like, what? I mean, it was a cool scene, but I think it would have been way cooler if like Leia had done it or something. Yeah,
but Leia with her scene when she was like in the control room, and then you see Kylo, and they sense each other, and then he decides not to shoot her, and then she gets shot, and then she just starts flying and into the. That was so weird and surrealistic. Like it happened, and I remember first time I was watching, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I was first like, well, is Leia like dead now? And then she was in space, and then she became like Leia Jesus, and she just flew back.
Even the how she flew back, it was weird.
Yeah, she just kind of
pointed
used the force to pull on the ship or something.
It was weird. For me, that was a super weird scene. It was good that they didn't kill her. Weird way to do it, but that was weird. And what was weird for me as well was the whole stuff with Rey going to the black hole on the island, and then
that was really
seeing
weird.
Multiple versions of herself, and when she tapped her finger, everybody was doing it. She's like, oh, who are my parents? I know who I am. And then she saw herself, and then it was super sad. I didn't
get that scene either.
That was super weird. I was tapping out mentally at that point, but then afterwards,
I was just like, what is going on right now?
That was just weird.
It was a strange scene.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that was weird. But I bought, and that's like a point that me and Matt contend on. I bought the romance between Finn and the Asian girl, and Matt just doesn't.
No, I didn't buy it at all, man. Like their relationship is so weird how they set it up. Like Finn, she admires Finn, and then she finds out that he wanted to leave, and then she hates him, and then like 30 seconds later in the next scene, they have like a back and forth about how technology works, and then all of a sudden they really like each other again, and it was way too quick. And then with the whole subplot of them going off to the casino, and
that I liked, man, straight up.
I was like, what is it? It was completely different from the main sort of story, and it really didn't make it didn't really have any impact on the rest of the story. And every time the movie cut to their story, for me it slowed the movie down like a lot, and I just felt it wasn't that interesting, and I didn't buy the chemistry, I didn't buy the romance. And then they go into the casino and they have to find someone, and then they have to do something else, and then they find out about her past as a slave child or something, and then they have to save these creatures, and
I don't
know what's going on.
I thought it was great because it felt like first time and then seeing it the second time, I felt like it was one of those things that they were trying to, or they are expanding the universe, so there's more stuff out there in the Star Wars universe. You get casinos, and we don't only have like the bars that we show in almost every movie. We got casinos as well, and they have the same vibe about with the music. And I thought like it looked great. That casino was beautiful, and even the animals were really cool as well. For me, it seemed like they were building their relationship at that point because they went there together. They save each other. And even when they were in the enemy base in the big spaceship, they were like helping each other and like helping each other out. And he's like fighting Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah. Like Finn fights Brienne of flippin' Tarth.
And it's such a great scene. They are fighting, and he has the thing, and they hit each other, and then he comes up.
Also, like Phasma was like. It was like, okay, like in the first one she barely did anything, and then now in the second one it's like, okay, Phasma's gonna be a badass now. And then she had one fight, and then they kill her off again.
But I think they didn't have more room for Phasma, and I agree with that, because if they would have put in more Phasma, it wouldn't have made much sense.
But she didn't really feel like that much of a threat. Finn just fought her once,
and then
he
defeated
beat her.
Yeah.
So. And that's Phasma.
And you have toys of Phasma. You have a lot of toys, and
but she barely does anything.
She barely does anything. But I think it felt like they did the first movie, and they were just like, they put her in a little bit in Force Awakens, and people were like, oh, she is cool.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh.
And then in the second one, she's really gonna shine. Yeah. And then she has one scene.
But it's still great. It's still cool. It's just
it's cool, but
it's a little bit sad in that sense that it's Brienne of Tarth, and then you just do that with her.
Yeah. Who do you think would win though? Like if Phasma versus Brienne of Tarth, who do you think would win?
Brienne of Tarth.
Me too, man.
Of course, she is a beast.
She's a beast, man.
She
beat the Hound.
And who beats the Hound?
Like the Hound owns everyone.
Yeah.
And then Brienne comes in and kicks his butt.
And then she's gonna do the whole thing with that Oberyn did, where she grabs the head and pushes in the eyes of Phasma.
Yeah. She just rips off the helmet and does the mountain Oberyn thing.
Oh shit!
Which was kind of disgusting, by the way. There's
But yeah, it was a great movie. I'm excited for the next one. But I think they're doing the next one that we're getting this year is
we're gonna like a Han Solo movie.
Or something. The Han Solo, and it's young Han Solo.
Yeah, so I'm not at all excited for that.
It's not that I'm not excited. I'm just not interested.
No, not at all. I don't need it.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I don't need it.
I don't feel like this is necessary. This is just okay.
And I'm not that huge on prequels in general.
No,
because I think many times prequels for me feel redundant, because I already know that these characters are not gonna die.
Yeah, they're gonna survive anyway. You know where they're gonna end up because you've seen like the movie,
multiple movies at this point.
multiple movies. You know Han Solo. You know what he's gonna do. So if the prequel doesn't really matter, they're gonna show probably like how he and Chewbacca met.
Yeah,
and that could be cool. But other than that, like, what story is there to tell?
It's fan service at this point. It's like
because all of the like the important Han Solo stuff happened in like the original trilogy. And stuff.
So, I mean, it's probably going to be a fun movie. Are we going to go to the cinema and watch it?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah. So, let's just drop that for now.
Yeah.
All right. You have seen The Maze Runner, The Death Cure.
I saw it yesterday. Thoughts on the movie? It is, weird.
I mean, I really don't know what to think of this. I mean, I've seen the first two.
Yeah.
I thought the first one was surprisingly fun.
Yeah, that was like
this
whoa.
is pretty cool, actually. Then the second one was surprisingly not that fun. It's like, okay, this is definitely
not what we're looking for.
Not as cool as the first one. And then the third one, I've seen the trailer like a few times.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on. They're like breaking into the facility. You've seen it. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't want to spoil that much for people that are still, want to watch the movie because it's pretty fresh at this point. What I'm going to say about it is that they raised the stakes in a weird way. In a very weird way that you don't expect it, but it's not a right way of don't expect. It's not like a good reveal.
Like sometimes it's unexpected and it's cool.
Like, oh, cool, yeah.
And it's like unexpected and it's like, what?
What?
Like, what is happening?
And you will see when you watch the movie the reason, like the upfront reason to like go somewhere to do something. The reason is just stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And then stuff happens, and I almost cried at one point though. With one character, stuff happening. I'm not gonna say any names, but I almost cried at some point.
Well, the first one had a really good almost cry scene with the boy with
Chuck,
Chuck or something.
Yeah.
Like that was like really good.
Yeah,
and okay,
there's a moment like that in the new one.
But it's not gonna be like the first one.
No, it's not gonna be like the first one, and I think that's the problem of the Maze Runner in that sense. The first one was like people went to the movie and they were like, oh, whoa.
This is actually pretty cool. Like no one expected it because it was like another teen movie about based on a book.
Adult. I read the books. The books are great, but it was like
the movie was like oh, this is actually pretty cool.
How and the actor, he is the guy.
Like
he is the guy.
What's his name again? Like Logan Lerman?
Yeah,
is that his name?
He is the guy. He plays in Teen Wolf as well. He is the guy. He's a really good actor.
He
has his own action movie at this point as well. People reviewed the movie. It's getting some good reviews. People are like, okay. So he is doing well for himself, and he played a good role in the last one as well. But it's just I think like the expectations, the stakes were set way too high after the first one.
Yeah,
and then they tried to deliver, but no.
Okay, it's just.
But it's not a bad movie. It's a good watch.
It's better than the second one. The Scorch Trials, I believe.
It's better than the second one,
and not as good as the first one.
Not as good as the first one. It's a good movie overall. If you like The Maze Runner, then you should go watch it. If you're not that interested, then I would suggest to not spend your hard-earned bucks on this movie.
Okay, well. It came out in January, so January is not really known for great movies.
Yeah.
But you wanted to talk about The End of the World TV show on Netflix.
Yeah. So the name is The End of the Flipping World. It's of course like, the word that we can't say.
The end of the effing world.
Yeah, the end of the effing world. So super weird. It's a show basically about a person, a guy. He's like 17, 18 years old, and he killed a lot of animals when he was a kid, and he's kind of like a psychopath kind of person, and he wants to kill a real human being, and that's the premise of the show.
All right.
And I can't say more go watch it. It's like 10 episodes, 20 minutes per episode. It is like, and 2018 is like, we have been in this year for a month now, but it's literally the best stuff that's been released in 2018 up until now. It is so great. It is super unexpected. It's super weird. The stuff that's happening, you don't expect that to happen. It is weirdly heartfelt. You will almost cry at some point. And the show, it's the actors are doing such a great job. The main actor, he played in a episode in Black Mirror as well. It's the one, I don't know the name of the episode. I forgot the name.
I don't remember the name of the episode, but that was a really good episode, by the way.
Yes. The reveal in the last like 20 seconds of the whole episode, it's like, oh.
Like, for you people who haven't seen Black Mirror, it's one of the best shows that's
literally one of the best
out
shows
there now. I mean, it's on Netflix. It's about essentially how technology, it's kind of like in the near future.
Yeah.
And every episode is like a story in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And every episode has like this one piece of technology that is invented in the near future that is like almost a natural progression for what's going on right now. So it could happen in a few years. So that what makes it really scary, and it shows like the dark sides of what technology can do to people and society, and it's really interesting.
It is
and
super
you
interesting.
should watch it because it is phenomenal.
And I talk about it with friends that see it for the first time a lot, and many people say when you watch it, like you watch one episode and then you like lay in your bed, you look at your, you look at the sky or something, or you look at the wall, and you just think about your life.
Yeah,
and
you just
you
like
freak out.
Yeah, because it's so real. It's like this could happen in like 5 years or something.
Yeah,
and then people could just go crazy because of technology, and it's that way. It's written extremely well.
And it messes with your mind so much.
Yeah.
And you start thinking about like, oh, what if? And then boom, and it's like, it's great.
Yeah.
It's a good show. And the episodes themselves are, the cinematography is great. The CGI, because I do a lot of CGI, of course. It's great.
And they got great actors for every episode too.
Yeah.
I mean, John Hamm is in one. They got Toby Kebbell for probably our favorite episode.
Yeah.
They got Haley Atwell. They got Domhnall Gleeson. They got, Bryce Dallas Howard for one. I mean, like phenomenal actors for these episodes.
Yep.
And it's really cool.
It is great. Go watch it. Don't watch them all in one sitting, because you will your mind will explode and you won't survive. Just take it slow. Watch 2 or 3 in one sitting. Then think about it. Cry maybe a little bit. Freak out. Don't sleep for a week. And then, you can get on with your life.
Like do 3 cartwheels, like kill a homeless person and shoot a dog, and then you can watch the next episode.
And do some weird stuff with a pig.
And
we're not gonna say anything.
You'll get it once you watch Black Mirror.
And if you have watched, you will get this joke.
Yes. Oh man, I was laughing my butt off when that whole sequence happened. It was
because I wasn't expecting, and then it was, and I was like, whoa,
it just came out of nowhere, man. It was like I didn't really know what it was, and then I watched the first episode, and then that happened, and it was like, oh,
and that could happen for real.
Yeah,
why?
That's like the scary thing. Like, it was so messed up, but it's like, you know what? In a few years,
it will
something
happen.
like this could happen
Easily.
And that's what makes it so good and scary.
So Black Mirror is great, and watch the end of the the end of the flipping world. Watch it as well. And if you have watched it, comment down below what your thoughts were. It's super unique. It is super unique. It's a unique show.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer, and I was like, I need to see this.
Yeah,
this looks phenomenal.
It's phenomenal, and I like how Netflix, with their originals, because it's a Netflix original, they are stepping up the game in so many ways. Like, their Netflix originals are being on, like, they have a lot of, in my opinion, they have a lot of garbage in there as well. But like, their good ones are so on point. They just keep hitting and doing good stuff. Netflix is so on point, and get Netflix. It doesn't cost you anything. It's like $10, $10 a month, and you can watch so much.
Yeah,
and Netflix is great. I love Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix is like dominating now.
Yeah.
It's pretty much taken over the world. Like almost everyone has Netflix now.
Yep.
It's so big. It's like they really exploded.
And I have tried Hulu just for the sake of watching. It's a new show. I think it's Marvel. It's the Runaways.
Right. Is
Yeah.
that cool? I mean,
It's-
I've seen like bits and pieces, but it looks.
I have seen 5 episodes. It's like teen drama, blah 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 blah, and more teen drama. People loving it. There's like a love triangle in there.
Great. Just just what we need.
I have read the comics. I've read all of them because I'm a personal fan of the Runaways. I love the comics. The TV adaptation it's lackluster. I'm not that invested. I watched 4 episodes and then I just stopped. It's sad.
Okay. Well, I don't need to see that then.
You could because the story is pretty interesting. And I hope they do the big reveal in a good way. But it's not like top tier or anything. It's one of those things you put it on in the evening when you don't have anything to do. You get yourself some popcorn.
You watch it and it's like okay,
that was fun.
And
Serviceable. It feels like Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's like okay, it's there, cool, high five.
Fired.
No, but it's not bad. It's just it's there.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
What,
all right.
What was the next one? The next topic.
We have one. Pretty.
Good way to end it off. It's like the end.
Well, we have one more segment.
Oh yes.
We have one more.
Yeah, we do.
We could just talk about this. We could just kind of go off on this. Our favorite movies, like, let's say about like top 5 or something. Top 5 favorite movies of like the zeros, like 2000 to 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Like top 5 movies, just off the top of your head, like which ones. You know, like if you talk to someone like you need to watch these movies, these 5 movies from the zeros.
Let's do a quick search because I want to be sure.
All right.
That it's made in the zeros.
Well, obviously, you got to go with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but that's an easy grab.
That's a given. But we'll just qualify that as one movie.
Yeah,
because it's just one big movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Lord of the Rings is definitely one.
Is there ever going to be a new trilogy of movies ever going to capture the epicness of Lord of the Rings? Is it ever going to happen?
No, I don't think so, man. Like Lord of the Rings is the coolest. It's like the best movies of all time. They're not even movies. They're just entities of epicness. Like they transcend movies. They just transcend like top 10 movies of all time lists. Like Lord of the Rings isn't even on that. It's just above everything.
Because it doesn't need to be. It's in its own league.
Like Lord of the Rings is its own entity. Like nothing can ever top Lord of the Rings. It's perfect. And anyone who hasn't seen Lord of the Rings, you should. Right now, because you won't regret it.
You will watch the movies and then you will start getting into the whole
Middle Earth thing and the whole Tolkien world.
You will like it.
Yeah. You'll be like, why haven't I watched this before? Like,
it's great.
Why? It's just so epic.
But I'm checking the list now. So Donnie Darko is definitely on there. I'm just gonna do
Donnie Darko. Is that 90s?
It's 2001.
Oh, okay.
Apparently,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that as well. So I wanted to check before I said it. Donnie Darko, great movie. Super weird. You won't know what's happening the first time, so you will watch it and then do some googling. And in that sense, maybe it's bad where you need to Google stuff and then watch the movie again. But with Donnie Darko, it felt cool because it felt like a search.
Yeah.
You watch the movie and you don't understand what's coming out of the people and why there's some writing somewhere. But you do some research online and you discover this is this and this is this, and then you watch the movie again and it's a whole different experience. So Donnie Darko is definitely for me up there, and I like the weird, mysterious, sci-fi, weird movies. So that one,
all right,
that one is definitely on there.
I mean, for me, I gotta go first. Spider-Man 1.
Spider-Man. Yes, Spider-Man.
Like
okay,
2002. Gotta put that in there, man. That movie kind of sparked my whole love of superheroes. You know, I didn't really know much about superheroes like way back in the day, and then Spider-Man came on one night on television, and I watched it, and I freaking loved it, and I watched it like 100,000 times. And still, in my opinion, I prefer Spider-Man 1 over Spider-Man 2. A lot of people prefer Spider-Man 2. They think it's like the best superhero movie ever made. But,
you know, agree, but yeah.
I love them both. I even love Spider-Man 3, which is kind of controversial, I know. But, you know, I just saw it back in the day with you, I believe.
Yes, we
just
definitely
back
did.
in the day, you know, we were
It was cool.
we were in primary school, so we didn't really know that much about movies and all that stuff.
We didn't know what a good movie. It was just cool. There was cool action.
Yeah, you know, it was Spider-Man. Of course, it's cool. And like the final battle, man, with Spider-Man and Harry teaming up against Venom and Sandman, like 2-on-2, like that blew our minds at that time.
We made comics about it. We drew about it. We talked about it. We were so into like. It was great.
I mean, now I know the movie has problems. I get it.
Because now when you
you know, I still love it. You know, but like the Sandman stuff and the Harry stuff was all originally supposed to be in there, and that stuff is still really cool.
But
the Venom stuff and all that stuff, you know, that's
a little weird.
That was like added in, but like the Sandman stuff and the Harry stuff was supposed to be in there, and I still think that those scenes are really good.
Yeah,
and the music
Sandman's
as well.
Story was sad.
Sandman's story was great.
It was sad, man. It was like
it was really sad, and the music, and then the famous scene, like, you know, when he first becomes Sandman, and he's like in the pit, and it's like music, and he's like taking the photo. Man, that's amazing. But yeah, Spider-Man 1. Spider-Man 1 is definitely in there for me.
Good. Then another one for me is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, because that's like 2004.
Wow,
that's super weird that it's 2004.
That's man, that's 14 years ago.
14 years ago.
That's scary.
Because I only watched this like recently, in that sense, like 3 years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago. Because I didn't know about this movie. And a friend of mine recommended it to me. It was like, yeah, it's a pretty cool movie, and it's kind of maybe there's like a sci-fi element to it. I was like, oh, okay. So I watched the movie, and you can't like spoil anything about it, because if you will spoil anything about it, then it's already like we feel kind of is gone.
Yeah, you really need to see it.
You really need to see it, but it's a great movie. Jim Carrey, my man. Recently, Jim Carrey released a documentary on Netflix. Did you watch that one?
No, I didn't watch it, but about the what's it called again?
I forgot the name, but it's it's pretty much about him, that he was doing a character, and he starts becoming the character not only like in the movie, but also in like his personal life, and because he does method acting, so he's like the character the whole time, blah blah. But it's a documentary about how he became the character, and how he like even in his mind and stuff was super weird, and how like he was speaking with the dad of the deceased character, because the character wasn't alive anymore, and dad was crying and stuff, and seeing him as his kid and stuff. He is super good at what he does, but he loses himself in it. It's a super interesting documentary.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. I recommend it. It's so good. It is super interesting to see how a person just gives his soul to his work in that sense, and then just has even problems and like fights people, because he is just that character, and that character is really annoying and obnoxious, and it's great.
Okay,
it's super interesting.
All right. For me, I mean, you gotta go with the Batman movies.
Yes.
I mean, but then you have the choice: is Batman Begins and Dark Knight. A lot of people will say Dark Knight, but for me, after all these years of seeing those movies like over and over again and thinking about it a lot, I prefer Batman Begins. So I would put Batman Begins in my top 5. Why?
Yeah.
I prefer Batman Begins because it is like a true Batman story. It's like, it's about Bruce Wayne. It's about how he becomes Batman. And that story is just so cool and so well done in Batman Begins. That's like, it's about Batman, and the second one is pretty much about Joker and about, chaos and like all that stuff. But the first one is like, it's really about Batman and his story and how he becomes Batman. And the way they did that is just freaking awesome. And that movie got me into Batman.
And like
because of that movie, I love Batman now. So in that sense,
Hey, gotta think about young kids now and being introduced to Batman to like Batman v Superman or something.
Yeah, like the
That is
really
pretty
dark,
sad.
like, you know, he's actually killing people and like, you know.
Because they won't have the same thing that we had, like
No.
watching, like, you know, Batman Begins and then The Dark Knight and be like, whoa, this is
Like Batman is like awesome.
Yeah.
And
then
now
getting Rises and then being like, wow. But
yeah,
like
Rises, man. When that came out,
I remember the feeling of that. That's one of like my childhood memories. The feeling of like seeing Bane on the big screen with the voice, and then him
God.
being in the pit and stuff, and like climbing up, and the whole like,
and then
you
like the
feel
whole, like the last hour of the movie, just like with the fight in the city,
and it's tense. It's tense.
Yeah.
Every second is tense, and every second there's stuff happening on the screen,
It's-
and it feels fast paced, and
Yeah.
you want him to win. You're rooting for him.
You're just in this world, and you're like, how is Batman gonna win now? Because
Yeah.
Bane has just taken over the city, and then it's
Still, I think it's for me one of the most iconic scenes ever. That he is like eating. Alfred is like he's at the dinner place, and then he walks there and he sees him.
yeah.
and they don't
then
say
Alfred,
anything.
Like, he looks up and he sees
they only
Bruce,
look,
and then
and oh,
like Christian Bale is just such an awesome actor, and he's just like
he doesn't need to say anything.
Yeah, he does this little nod, and it's like, oh man,
And they
It's
know.
like, so they know,
They know we good.
and it's so cool. Like that scene, man, goosebumps every time.
Goosebumps. And because I watch that scene from time to time, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's like on YouTube. It's like Dark Knight Rises ending, and sometimes you just watch it, you're just like, man,
You just feel good.
it's our happy place. It's like,
Definitely.
this is Batman.
And this is how movies should be. That like
Yeah.
you build up a character so much, and this character is so like versatile. I mean, people know who he is. That like he can say stuff with like the look in his eyes.
Yeah, because you've been with him for so long, and
Yeah.
it's like the story is so well written, and then the characters is like his story is over essentially. You know, he's done the Batman thing.
Yeah,
People think
essentially.
he's dead. It's over. He can now be free, and then he just sees him,
And
at the restaurant, and it's like, oh,
because even the fact that Alfred walks away is
Yeah.
like, you know what's up. They both know what's up, and they're
Yeah.
like, okay,
You
we
know.
are fine with it.
yeah. And Alfred said in like somewhere in the beginning of the movie, like, that he wanted a different life for him,
Yeah,
and then now he finally has it, and Alfred's like, okay, cool.
it makes sense.
This is
I'm not gonna touch this. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
So good.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. And another one for me is, of course, District 9.
District 9. I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen it?
That's like
2009.
that's Peter Jackson, right?
Yeah, it's such a good movie.
Man, I need to see it.
It is. It's like it's like a found footage documentary vibe.
Yeah,
how they
yeah.
made it, but that is so good, and you won't expect what's happening. And there's even action, and action is crisp. The action is good, and how they. Because normally I hate those movies with like a camera. It's like shaky
found
and
footage
blah, blah.
and,
I
yeah.
hate that. I don't. I don't
That's
vibe
one
with
thing
that.
I don't. I don't like it. I just
No, I
whenever
don't
a
like
movie it's like the found
feels
footage stuff.
Cheap.
I
it
just
feels.
was like, what? Like it. I don't. It doesn't feel like a real movie.
Yeah, it
somehow.
feels like some kid picked up a camera. It's like, hoo.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I don't like it. But in District 9, they do it in such a good way. It makes sense in the plot. It makes sense in the movie. And because of that, they can make some shots that you couldn't have made in a normal way with like a big cinematic, IMAX camera. So
Right.
that movie is great.
District 9.
Just watch it.
That's about the insect-ish alien.
Yeah, they are on
And
the
there's
earth.
like robots and things.
Yeah, and it's weirdly about like refugees, because they're refugees and how that works and how it works in the community and how people hate them, and it's
Right. So that's really applicable today
yeah
with all the refugees
Yeah,
like
and the
in
refugee
Europe
crisis
and all that
and-
stuff. All right.
so that is great. I think I have like 4 right now, right?
Yeah, you had Lord of the Rings as well, right?
Yeah, and I had like
Yeah, so-
I have the Dark Knight on there as well. And I have
Dark
5.
Knight.
Yeah.
For you, and then Donnie Darko, Eternal Sunshine. Well, then that's 5.
Yeah, so I'm
So
good.
that's it. Okay, so I got one more. Ooh. Wait, I got Lord of the Rings,
Yeah, you got.
Spider-Man, Batman Begins.
Mhm.
Got 2 more. All right, I go. Oh, this is tough. There's so many. I mean, you can go Gladiator. You can go
Did 300 really?
300. Yeah.
Yeah, see.
I mean, it's
flip.
cool, but it's
There's some weird scenes. though.
weird.
We have some weird.
There's some weird stuff in there with. I'm not even gonna go into it.
We have some weird. Yeah.
like the Hunchback guy.
Oh.
Anyway, I mean, King Kong. I freaking love King Kong.
Oh yeah, you can. Oh yeah.
I mean, but I'm gonna go Casino Royale.
Oh,
2005, the return of James Bond. Daniel
James
Craig
Bond for us. Yeah.
Yeah, because that also happened during our primary school time.
Yep.
We watched that movie. God, that movie is so awesome.
was so hyped.
It was hype, but it delivered. Like
Everybody
to me,
wanted to
that's
be
still
James
like
Bond.
the best James Bond movie ever. It's better than Skyfall, better than Spectre, and all that stuff.
It feels sophisticated. It feels fast. It feels like action. It's like it's
and like
the
the
Bond.
poker stuff. You know, it's so intense.
Yep.
Like they made like a poker scene intense and epic. Like, oh man,
It's
phenomenal.
great.
Phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, God, what are you doing? Casino Royale is one of the best action movies, but just one of the best movies ever made. So yeah, I'll definitely go Casino Royale. And then for my last pick, oh my God, there's so many.
Yeah, you gotta
There's
do
so
it
many
now.
great movies in the zeros.
Yep.
I mean, but I really like the first Pirates. The first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. That one was still.
It was
Sort of realistic, like sort of like this. You know, it makes kind of makes sense.
There were stakes.
There were stakes. You know, it's like Jack Sparrow was at his best. You know, the story was tight. It was well paced,
and it was
and
like
it's funny and it's great action and it just the whole movie is just made really well.
that's like even with like looking at Marvel, your first movie needs to be crisp. It needs to be good.
Like Iron Man.
Yeah, so you're gonna invest a lot of time. You're gonna invest a lot of money. You need the script to be crisp. It needs to be perfect because you need to
set up these characters. You need to set up this world, and you also need to have a good story.
You need to like make these people excited for this, right? So that's why look, one of those first movies like Iron Man.
Like Iron Man, just Iron Man is also one of the great movies of the zeros.
I should put Iron Man in there.
Iron Man.
Because that's one of my favorite movies ever.
That's one of yours, man.
Wow.
There's too many. And then King Kong. I mean, can you believe King Kong came out? Oh no, wait, Casino Royale is 2006. I made a mistake. That's too bad. Well, King Kong is 2005, which came out in the same year as Batman Begins. So that's
a good year.
Phenomenal movies in 1 year.
King Kong was so good.
I love King Kong.
The new one is weird.
Kong Skull Island, we saw it. I mean, it was cool. It was cool.
Not bad.
It wasn't bad, but you know, I mean, compared to the first like King Kong, I mean, it's like what? Like, I mean, even the CG for Kong looked better
than
12 years ago than now. So I don't know what that says about the movie, but
we even played the game on the PlayStation with the weird system where you die and then the game becomes easier apparently, but it didn't, and then it was so weird.
I mean, yeah, we played the King Kong game.
Yeah, and then you had like a stick.
You have like you can grab like spears and you get fire. That game, by the way, completely different note. That game is phenomenal.
Yes,
it's like one of the best.
And it's innovative and shit. It's weird.
It's like this survival game, and you have to, you know, you fight dinosaurs and
it didn't have a UI, right? There's no UI. It's just screen. Yeah,
it's like first person. It's an action adventure sort of survival game. Seriously, if you haven't played it, just check it out.
Yeah,
it is really cool. It's like you're like, oh, it's a movie game. You know, it's gonna be, you know, poop, but it's not, man. It's like it's awesome.
And that is weird, right? Because a movie game doesn't have any right, especially in 2018, to be a good game. Come on, movie games.
That game came out in 2005.
Yeah,
probably. It's really good. I mean, there's like a sort of like a remastered-ish version on the 360. So if you still have a 360, then can play that one. Looks a lot better than the Xbox version.
Because can you name any good movie game except Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings had some pretty cool ones, like Return of the King.
Conquest is kind of fun.
Conquest, but that's not really based. That's not really like a movie time game. Like I mean, you got X-Men Origins Wolverine. That game is pretty cool.
Yes.
And you got a few Spider-Man games. which I really like.
The new one have you seen videos of the new one?
Yeah, the new Spider-Man game.
Beautiful. Just beautiful. That's the
that
word
game should be the ultimate Spider-Man game.
Because I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
it should
it's
be
next
great.
gen. It's like a giant city. It's detailed.
You have freedom.
It looks
you
like
can
it has
do-
a great story.
You can finally do stuff with cars, because it's always the one thing in like the Spider movies that like the cars are just there, you can hit and that's it. But
Yeah.
now you can like do stuff with the cars as well.
Yeah, and it's like this. It's next gen, so the city is like full of people and things. Like
Mm-hmm.
it feels alive instead of like back in the day when it's like
Can you even
3
go
cars.
into water now?
I don't know.
Because if that happens,
I mean,
then
in Spider-Man 2, you can go in the water.
so you don't like automatically jump out.
Oh no way! I don't think you can swim.
Yeah, see, if you can swim in this game, then I'm done.
I think in Spider-Man 3 you can swim.
You can.
I believe you can. Spider-Man 3, the game which everyone hated.
Yeah.
But I still really liked.
We played the flip out of that game.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something.
And it ran like poop.
Yeah, it lagged like crazy.
But we
But
didn't
we
care.
played it on PC, and our PC was definitely not good enough for the game.
No, just no.
So
And the
it
game
was-
was poorly optimized at that point.
Yeah.
Just no. But yeah, movie games are known for being bad.
Yeah. There's
and
a
it's
few good ones, but King Kong, man.
iconic.
It's I can't even explain it. It's so good. It's so cool.
Yep.
It's such like a surprise. It's like,
Yeah.
how is this good? But it is.
And just I just like it. And King
Yep.
Kong the movie as well. It's
King
great.
Kong, the movie's great. The game is great. Yeah,
I think you got your 5 then, right? You got your top
that's
5.
5. Yeah. All right. Well, what about 2010? Like the 2010s, like 2010 up until now.
Up until now.
Well,
That's when we started to go to the cinema and stuff. So
yeah, that's when we started to, get some sense.
yeah, start getting addicted to movies.
yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah, my favorite movie of all time, but, after Lord of the Rings, obviously, is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So yeah, 2014. That's definitely my number one for 2010 and
Yeah.
after. Winter Soldier. I mean, I could talk for 3 hours about that movie, about why I like it so much and why it's so awesome.
Good,
But
why it's great.
I mean, just everything about it, man. It wasn't just a great comic book movie. It was a great action movie as well. It was gritty. It was a true sort of Captain America story. Like, no one in the movie has superpowers, which I
it made
think is
sense.
awesome, because it's like grounded, and Cap was like
It's
like
real.
a beast in the movie,
Yeah.
and it's real, and you believe it, and even with the Hydra stuff, and
So for me,
everything about the movie.
of course, Inception. I mean, I can't go wrong with Inception. Come
yeah.
on, 2010 Inception.
Inception.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Great movie.
I just love it.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. China.
China.
But yeah, I mean, Inception, it's a great movie. I like the sci-fi dream-like stuff. It was a great movie, great action, great scenes. It looked great, good reviews, and I like the ending. I just like
Yeah, the
endings
ending.
that's like with the spinning thing, and then does it fall, does it
Like,
not fall,
It's kind of wobbling. It's like, is it?
and then they stop it. It's so open. It's so open to like your
It's
own
like, yeah.
interpretation. It's love
You can-
Inception. Straight
I've
up.
seen it once, like
I don't want to watch
long
it again.
time ago.
I don't want to watch it again.
You don't?
No, because I think I will destroy. Like, I have the thing where I watch a movie and the first experience is super great, and then
Yeah.
I wait for like a year and then watch it again, and then I start seeing the flaws.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah. Because then, yeah.
Yeah,
Because the first time is always the best time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you wish you could just see a movie for the first time again.
yeah. Just erase. That will be.
Yeah, like if I could see Lord of the Rings for the first time again or something,
I would pay money for that, like
Yeah, I mean-
millions, millions.
with a millions and millions of Rocks fans. And
But straight up, yeah.
yeah, God, we should just rent out like a cinema, like what's it called cinema, the place where you sit.
A cinema.
in the cinema,
Cinema.
like a cinema room.
Yeah, I know what you
thing.
mean. Yeah.
We should just rent it out and just play freaking Lord of the Rings
And
just for ourselves, and just oh man, I would love to see Lord of the Rings in theater because I didn't get to see it back in the day because
we were way too young.
We were like, 6, 7 or something. So we didn't even know about the movies. We didn't go to the movies.
We are eating sand and paper.
We were like eating sand and drinking glue and just picking our nose and wiping it on our shirts.
Getting lit, just sniffing that glue.
And yeah, we were just playing with Legos and shit.
Yeah.
Which was awesome, by the way.
It was awesome. Lego movie.
The Lego movie was also awesome.
Hey,
but
good
yeah.
segue. But what is your second one? Your second pick?
Ooh, that stuff. Oh yeah, Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Of course. Did you like the last one?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
War. Of course, I love War.
Okay.
I love the whole trilogy, man. I love Caesar. Caesar is my boy.
My man.
Caesar is my man.
My
But now,
man.
spoilers if you haven't seen War for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
When he dies at the end, it's like no. Like, that was like my dude, man. It's like Caesar.
It hurts. It hurts so much.
It hurts. It's like, no.
It was so good, though.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was good.
Because his really death, it made sense.
It made sense, but it was like, it's Caesar, man.
But that's good that you feel that because they know it's a good movie.
Because then you care about the character. Which, but, you know, of all the movies, probably no one will say that, like, the first one the best, Rise. They all say Dawn or War.
No.
I mean, maybe, yeah, I guess technically, you know, they might be better movies. But I just love the first one so much. Just like Caesar's origins and plus I love James Franco. So that also helps. But, you know, just Caesar's origins and him growing up and getting smarter and then, you know, leading the revolution. And, you know, and Franco, you know, he gets locked up and then he wants to go home, but he can't. And then he kind of adjusts and kind of takes over the place. And then James Franco comes in and then he doesn't want to leave. And it's just like, oh, man. And then he kind of leads his own revolution, and then he kind of, you know, makes his own path. And then when at the end he says, Caesar is home. And it's just like, it's perfect. And then the music, God.
See, but that's a good trilogy right there.
It's one of the best trilogies ever.
Yeah. It's one that makes, like, there's no bad movie in it.
No, they're all three of them are just fantastic.
That is weird if you think about it.
Yeah, it is. It's like one of the few, like, great trilogies. Like, all three movies are phenomenal.
That is
like,
weird.
Almost no trilogy has that.
No,
especially nowadays.
Yeah,
not even the Marvel movies.
Because nowadays people don't want to end it.
No,
they just plan out the trilogy and it's like, oh, well, people like the movies. Well, let's milk this cow and then just.
But like the Apes movies, man,
great,
phenomenal. All right, so I got 2 now.
You got 2 now. I got 2 now as well, right?
You got.
I got Inception, and that's it. Oh, I have one.
Oh.
Second one, 12 Years a Slave.
Oh man, have you seen that?
I cried. I just straight up. I'm just gonna say I freaking cried.
Okay, yeah, well,
bro,
man, I don't dare to watch it, man. I'm scared. I'm scared of the movie.
You're gonna cry. You're gonna feel bad about yourself. You're gonna feel bad about being a human being. You're gonna be like, why did people even do this? You're gonna feel bad about yourself, about life. You'll feel sad. It is because what a movie does, they show a lot of the physical hurt, and physical abuse as well, and they have in that sense no right to show it because it's so bad and it's not good. But the fact that they do it and they do it in such
that
like
just really hammers home the message of like, this was messed up, guys.
It was messed up, and nobody like had the guts to do that, and they were just like, no, we need to make this movie. We need to show it in this way because it was this way and this happened.
Well, it works,
and it works.
Because if you see it, you know, you get it.
You get it. And even the mental abuse and how they were seen as, you know, cattle and blah blah. It's all in there, and it's all comprised with and the story itself is good as well because you will care for the characters, you care for everybody, and you even like in some weird way you understand what it's so interesting.
Yeah.
Watch it and then cry.
I'm scared.
Because you will feel bad. You will definitely feel bad. But when a movie makes you feel strong emotions,
then it's a good movie.
Except anger though, when it's a bad movie.
Yeah. Fant 4 stick or something.
Fant 4 stick. That was anger. And that is, it's an emotion, but it's not a good emotion.
Yeah.
All right. 4 stick, best movie ever.
Not so much.
So move on with
I'll
third
go.
Pick.
Ooh. That's tough. Maybe Warrior with Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton.
I have not seen that movie. Still
that movie is so cool, man. It's about Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton are brothers, and they're both fighters, and they both have their own stories and their own reasons for why they enter in this tournament, and then at the end they have to fight each other for like Tom Hardy's fighting for America, and like Joel Edgerton is fighting for his family, and it's just you're rooting for both of them, and that's why the final clash is so interesting. But yeah, it's such a badass movie. Great music. Just Tom Hardy is a badass. Love that movie.
Tom Hardy's doing good for himself, man. Yeah. Straight up. And the guy, he came from nothing, right? He came from Tom Hardy came from nothing, right? And now he's
probably.
I think I read something that he came from nothing, and then now he's like this big star.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest.
Yeah.
I mean, he's starring in Venom.
Yeah, and especially in action movies.
Yeah, I mean, he's all the Nolan movies. Bane, Inception.
And that's a good segue for my
Dunkirk.
next pick.
Ooh.
Dark Knight Rises, of course. Come on.
Isn't Dark Knight Rises your favorite out of the 3?
Yes, of course. By far.
By far?
Not that the first 2 movies are bad. Of course, they're awesome. They're great. Yeah. They are another trilogy that's good, by the way. But the Dark Knight Rises it brings it all home for me. The struggle, the pain, the Batman. That he's the Batman, but he can't his body doesn't add up anymore, and his body is struggling, and he gets broken and beaten to the pulp, and the fighting scenes, the cinematography, the colors, just straight up everything. It's beautiful and it breathes, and there's not a second in the movie that was, but even the opening. Come on, the opening in the plane when come on.
Yeah, we're crashing this plane. Yeah, but that's the other actor that's holding the gun. That's Baelish from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So it's like, Sansa, forgive me. Bane, what are you doing? If you make a Bane Baelish scene, is nobody cared who I was till I put on the mask. Was getting caught part of your plan, Bane? Of course.
I'm Littlefinger.
Bane.
I wanna do stuff with Sansa, Bane. And May's
wanna see me?
Of course I wanna do that.
Well, perhaps he's wondering why you would shoot him at before throwing him out of a plane.
Come on, the beginning of the movie, and then every scene, just good, perfect, great execution.
And the last 10 minutes.
Come on,
with even when he's flying off into the sunset,
and you're
and
he's
the
dead.
music, and it's this
over.
final shot of Batman just looking, and it's just
and
man.
Even with the reveal, how they do the reveal, they don't They don't explode it on you, but you see what's his name? He's looking at the schematics.
Lucius Fox.
Yeah. He's looking at the schematics. And he's yeah, and he's like, hey, this.
And it's like with the autopilot.
Yeah,
and it's like then the mechanic guy says oh no, it has been repatched. And by whom? And it's Bruce Wayne. And it's
and then you get.
I just got goosebumps thinking about
it. And they give you hope.
Yeah,
they give you hope.
Holy shit! And then the music starts to
swell, and you're
and it's oh god,
no. And then it happens,
and then you see the scene.
That is
with
how
Alfred
we do it.
And Bruce, on the terrace.
Great movie, straight up. So that's number 3, definitely.
Okay. Well, this is tough. Which ones are there? Kick-Ass is 2010.
Kick-Ass 2010. Hers in there as well. Hers
13, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'll go Kick-Ass, man. I freaking love Kick-Ass.
Great movie.
It's incredibly funny. It's like everything I want in a superhero movie, you know? Just the whole idea of, just some random comic book nerd like dressing up and becoming a superhero. That to me is just awesome.
It is a great movie. And it feels like one of those things you're watching, you're like, oh yeah, this is what you always wanted to do as a kid.
Yeah.
You didn't do it though. This guy does it for you.
Yeah.
Nice, thank you.
And he shows you like it's a bad idea to do.
It's a bad idea. You
still kind of want to do it because you could be a superhero, man.
One of the best scenes when he's in the cafeteria and the guy picks up the thing and like smashed it on his back and he doesn't feel it.
That's like right after he got his, the plates in his body. He's like, do you feel that? Do you feel that? He's like poking him with a fork and he just smashes him on the back with the plate.
It's a great movie. Like, come on, you can't go wrong with Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass.
Straight
That's
up.
Definitely up there.
And they know that they don't take themselves serious, and that's why it's good.
Yeah, it's just, it knows it's dumb, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, great movie. Next pick for me, Les Miserables. I don't know how to.
Really?
Yeah, come
Les
on,
Mis?
bro. Les Mis, come on.
Look down.
Yeah.
Look down.
You never be a slave.
Look down. Look down.
You're dying in your grave.
Oh man, we should
Come
make a
on.
video of Les Mis
I just
with the 24601 scene.
reenact that stuff. Come on.
No,
It
prison
is-
24601.
Your time is up.
Your
Your
parole's
parole's begun.
You know what that means.
Yes, it means I'm free. No.
Follow to the letter your itinerary. This badge of shame will show until you die. It warns you're a dangerous man.
Stole a loaf of bread. My only sister, she was close to that. We were starving.
You'll starve again unless you learn the meaning of the law.
I know the meaning of those 19 years. Slave of the law.
5 years for what you did. The rest because you tried to run. Yes, 24601.
My name is Jean Valjean.
And I'm Javert. Do not forget my name. Do not forget me. 24601. Look down, look down. You'll always be a slave. Look down, look down. You're standing in your grave.
For real, this movie is great. I love the I almost cried when Anna Hathaway was being used.
They cut her hair off.
Cut her hair off and blah blah blah. Super sad. I love the songs in this movie. I listen to the songs separately a lot. It's like my kind of guilty pleasure thing that I just listen to it and I feel sad, but it's good. It's a good kind of sad. It is just a great movie.
The ending with Jean Valjean's like, Fantine, take me now.
And he dies, and then they're in heaven or something,
heaven,
and
and
everybody's
he's, like,
singing,
like,
and
the
all the
song
dead
and
people are there. I love this movie. I love this movie, and I love musicals as well. So that's partly why I love this movie as well. It's great.
And it's Hugh Jackman, man. Come
It's
on.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman makes everything better.
My man can sing. My man can have some claws. I like the guy.
Yeah, I mean Hugh Jackman, man. He makes everything better. He's just so cool.
And I don't want to put Logan on the list, but Logan is a great movie.
Definitely an honorable mention.
Definitely an
Logan
honorable
is-
mention. It is a great. See, that is stuff that I was like, okay, whoa.
Wow, like this is a proper movie.
This is like, it's gritty. It is sad. You feel this. You almost feel the guy's pain. Even when he pops out the claws, he's like, ah, and then he's like, ah, man.
Yeah, but the ending though.
Yeah, it's.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but
he,
oh my
yeah,
god,
battered, broken.
and
man.
it's just when he's on the thing, and
Yeah.
like the girl is like just slashing at it, and he's just like, ah. It's like God, you just feel his pain.
You feel his pain. He's such a good actor. He was Wolverine.
Like 17 years,
17
man.
years.
And he might return
One
more time in the Avengers, but probably not.
Probably not. I hope so, but probably not.
But yeah, I mean, they finished shooting Avengers 4, so he's not in there.
Yeah.
Which is,
Yeah.
I mean, because the deal happened.
and now they have him.
But they all already finished.
They could maybe
No
do like a
Avengers, so-
weird cameo thingy in the end, but like, hey, and
Maybe like a post-credit scene, but then,
But yeah, it's
But,
great.
Yeah.
I like the deal though. I am.
Yes, it is. I mean, there's two sides. It is cool that we can get Avengers X-Men crossover thing.
Yeah.
But now all the movies are made by one studio.
Yeah, and that's kind of bad.
So then we're probably going to get less superhero movies.
But high quality.
But also, because the Fox movies did something completely different, like Deadpool and Logan. You know, like in the MCU, you would never see a movie like Logan.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but But that's a good segue for my next pick as well. Deadpool. Right. Deadpool is definitely Deadpool's on that. That was one of the movies that I was watching it and I was like almost crying my eyes out of like laughing because it was just too funny.
Yeah, it was.
Even when he was breaking the fourth wall and stuff, it's just great.
Yeah,
that is a great movie. It was just like even the whole beginning sequence. Like, come on.
Yeah, with the on the highway.
Yeah,
it's just everything. Every scene in the movie is funny, and even the story is well done.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
So Deadpool is on there for me. I gotta do it because like you want to come with all those epic movies and blah blah and big movies, and Deadpool isn't that. It's just fun and a good story. But I need to put it on there because it's so good.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So how many do you have now? Do you have 4 or 5?
I have Les Miserables, Deadpool,
Dark Knight Rises,
and 12 Years a Slave. So I have 4. So you do your 4th now, and then I do my 5th, and then you do your 5th.
Okay. So I now have Winter Soldier, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and Warrior. Mm-hmm. Ooh. I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to throw Avengers in there, man. Avengers really changed the game, man. I mean, when that came out, I was, oh man,
I think
I was incredibly hyped for Avengers, and it delivered. It was so awesome. Like the Battle for New York, like that whole sequence is to this day the best third act battle sequence in any superhero movie, I think.
Yeah, no, it is definitely just
I mean, the Battle for New York, it had everything. The Hulk with that's my secret cap. I'm always angry, and then punching the thing, and it's like, oh my god! And then the circle with all of them, and then it's just,
that panning shot around the circle. Oh my!
And the impact of the movie, also, it changed everything.
It changed the game up. They eventually, because like after that movie, it was like, oh. So we can do, we can do these characters that actually nobody talks about. We can do this, we can do this. Well, we might as well.
If you make an ensemble movie with all these ridiculous characters, it can work.
Yeah, people don't even know these people, but they still root for them.
Yeah,
people don't even know all these characters, but they still like watch this movie and like pay for it. Yeah. Oh, we might as well do Guardians. We might as well do Black Panther. We might as well do all of this stuff, and it still works.
Yeah.
So the Avengers
really is kind of where the sort of like modern-ish like superhero world that we live in now, and the MCU where it is now, kind of the Avengers kickstarted it all. Mm-hmm. I mean, they say like Iron Man, but in the beginning it was just solo movies.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like it is now, and Avengers really sort of like, just like the big bang of superhero movies. It's just everything just blew up after Avengers.
Because we always say that how we are as kids saw Iron Man, and then we were like, yeah, if they ever make an Infinity War movie or like something big, but like or an Avenger movie, that would be great. And then they actually made it.
They actually made it, and it was actually good.
So
and it was just
if they do it again with Infinity War, I'm just gonna explode.
Yeah, I hope they do, man. All right, so now I have 4.
No, wait, you have 5, right? Like 4.
4, I believe.
Okay.
Avengers, Warrior, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and Winter Soldier.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna put Avengers on the list as well. I need to. So I got 5.
All right, so you have 5.
Yeah.
I got my last pick. I mean, what should I pick? Oh, that's tough.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of great movies.
You got stuff like Her.
Her. I mean, Her was phenomenal. I mean, I love The Imitation Game.
Yeah, you got that one.
Like Logan. Snowpiercer, yeah, you seen that one?
Yeah, come on, that's such a great movie.
It's such a great movie.
It's contained in the trailer, it's great.
Yeah. It's really underrated and underappreciated.
Yeah, it's so underrated.
Yeah. I mean, if you haven't seen Snowpiercer,
Go watch it.
you probably haven't, but go watch it, man. It's phenomenal.
But bro, even Guardians of the Galaxy is on there. This is just there's too much.
Oh man,
Nightcrawler.
I have to see that. I still haven't seen it.
Yeah.
What else? God, that must be something.
Yeah.
That I'm
Skyfall's on
overlooking.
there. Django Unchained is on. Oh yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Oh man.
I know. My sins against humanity.
Wolf of Wall Street is on there as well.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is. The Revenant.
Gravity.
Gravity is even on there.
No,
Interstellar.
The Martian. I really like The Martian.
You need to read the book. The book's good as well. The movie's good as well, but the book's even better.
Ooh.
But did you? Where's Interstellar?
Interstellar. I don't like Interstellar. Interstellar.
Wait, what?
I know. I didn't like it.
Well, we can make.
I'm probably one of the very few people that didn't really like Interstellar. I thought The Martian was better. I thought Gravity was better.
We can make a podcast about you not liking Interstellar.
Yeah, I know.
On to the next episode.
I don't know. I just didn't like it that much. You know, I like Matthew McConaughey's performance, and when he sees like his son on the video and he cries, like obviously that was phenomenal.
That hits you.
But as a whole, I didn't think it was that cool. I prefer The Martian. I prefer Gravity in terms of space movies.
Okay. You got Mad Max in there.
Ooh.
Yeah, see, this is hard.
Fury Road, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's too tough. It's too tough.
It is not easy.
It is not easy. No, I mean, like Civil War's in there somewhere.
Did you see Arrival yet?
Yeah.
Good movie.
I did, yeah.
It's apparently like 11th on
yeah,
the list
it's pretty cool, man.
It's a good movie.
I mean,
Whiplash is on there as well.
Whiplash, yeah, Birdman. I mean, there's so many.
You gotta make a choice though.
Gotta pick one.
Because we're in this for like almost 2 hours at this point now. I think.
Yeah, we've been recording for a long time.
Yeah.
All right. Last movie. I'm gonna have to say, I don't know which movies came out.
I think you're gonna go with Mad Max.
Mad Max? No, I'm not gonna go with Mad Max.
No?
I'm gonna have to say, maybe Imitation Game.
Okay.
I guess I'll go Imitation Game. I freaking love that movie. Plus the music.
I still haven't seen it.
Look it up. The music. God,
Imitation Game,
the
yeah.
music is phenomenal. Benedict Cumberbatch, one of his best performances, and the movie is just,
Benedict
is phenomenal.
Cumbersnatch, my man.
Benedict, the big batch of Cumber. Well, have we come to our final topic?
Yeah, that's
the last controversial thing
to end our podcast with.
Yes,
is gonna be.
Well, just say it, man.
So yeah, 2018 started off great with Logan Paul going to Forest and then seeing a guy
and the whole Logan Paul thing.
The whole Logan Paul thing and how he's now coming back. And how
is he coming back?
Yeah, he was on Good Morning America and he apologized. He made an apologize
but
video.
There's no coming back from this.
Yeah, but there is because like
13-year-old boys care apparently.
No, but the problem is they don't. So he comes back and it's like, oh well, you learned, so move on.
And it's like, well,
and yesterday he jumped out of a plane, so because he did like a parachute thingy, and his parachute almost didn't, like his main parachute didn't open, so he had to cut it off, and then he had like this backup parachute, so he almost died as well yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on with Logan Paul. I mean,
but the thing with Logan Paul, I mean, it was kind of scary because he uploaded it, and YouTube at first didn't really do much about it.
No, YouTube did. YouTube didn't care in the beginning. And like, cause he put it up, and then was like, okay, it's on there, and people were like then, flagged it and be like, yo, this is not good, but it was still on there, and it wasn't trending. Yo, why put that stuff on trending? Because trending is not random. Trending is definitely done by somebody at YouTube, just putting stuff on trending for US, putting stuff on trending for the Netherlands.
Right.
Because if like the trending was like made by an algorithm, then only videos with like super high views would be there. But there's stuff on trending with like 30,000 views. So trending is like done by a human being, and this video wasn't trending, so that is super weird. And then when poop hit the fan, they were like, oh no.
Okay.
Get the video offline. This is not good.
He deleted the video.
And
then he made like this dumb video apologizing, and
didn't went well. Then he went off the social media and YouTube for a long time, and now he's making his comeback. Went on Good Morning America, apologized, made some apology video, made a video.
I mean, he can apologize all he wants, but in my opinion, there's no coming back from this.
Yeah, but
he messed up, and now it's done.
Yeah, for me as well. But I didn't watch him.
You don't freaking do something like that.
Yeah.
Even if you're 22, I don't care.
You need to have some respect.
Like, and he had like the argument, like, I make YouTube videos every day, and
this is my daily life.
It's like crazy, and I wasn't thinking. It's like, sure,
22 years.
You still have a brain.
Well, we hope so.
Hopefully, yeah.
But yeah, that's 2018 at this point. 2018 is interesting. 2018 has been back to back stuff happening, cool shows, cool movies now coming on, and the Logan Paul stuff. But 2018 is gonna be a weird, interesting year. We're gonna make podcasts. We're gonna make a lot of stuff.
Speaking of making cool stuff. Yeah. Civil War is going to be released within the next week.
Let's go.
Part 3, get ready. It's going to be brutal and insane. And also, my next stop motion is going to be Infinity War, which my man Dan will be starring in as Black Panther and the Falcon.
I am so hyped. So hyped for
that shit is going to be awesome.
I'm so hyped. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And I'm hyped for your new video as well.
Yeah. It's good. Infinity War, Civil War was really hard to make, but Infinity War, man, with Thanos and everyone,
hard.
That's going to be probably even harder to make. But yeah.
So yeah, and I am just doing design and making art, doing a lot of stuff online. You can probably look me up on my Instagram for my more art stuff and my pictures and stuff like that, and my design. And
I'll put all the links in the description.
Yeah, I'll put all the links in the description. And we are making content. We are creating a lot, and we are getting out there. And 2018 is going to be the year that we're going to make even more.
Yeah,
and
man.
We're going to make it even better, and going to improve a lot, and just make cool stuff.
We're going to make a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I have an Instagram account as well, if you didn't know. So I'll put that in the description as well. You can follow me on there if you want.
Yeah, I guess that was the first comeback podcast.
That was our official comeback.
And it feels good. It feels
good to be back.
Definitely.
It was probably the longest episode we've ever done.
Ever.
But it was needed. It was needed. The world needs it.
Definitely.
We need it.
Yes.
There was a lot of things that we didn't get to comment on as they were happening, so we kind of had to
backtrack.
Do everything in this episode. But yeah, moving on. Black Panther coming up. That's going to be awesome.
Hyped.
And just talking about whatever we want to talk about.
Oh, we'll see you in the next one, or hear you in the next one, because we don't see you because it's audio.
Yeah. Well, we could find a way maybe to film ourselves.
Yeah.
But so maybe that's coming in the future. We might live stream our podcasts at some point, but we just have to figure out the logistics for that.
But we work on it though.
Yeah. So if you want us to live stream these podcasts, then so you can ask us questions in the comments, and you can talk with us, and we can talk with you. If you want something like that, then that can be arranged.
Definitely.
That could be awesome. Until next time.
Thanks for listening. If you've made it this far, you are a true legend. Yes. And I love you, and I want to...
If you made it this far, yeah, we love you. You are the true Unipsleet family. You are part of the Unipsleet army, the movement that is 3,000 strong. Which, by the way, thank you for that. A video will be coming. A thank you video will be coming.
That's good stuff.
All right. So, should we do the outro? We should probably back away from the mic a little
Oh, yeah,
bit.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
Because
okay.
otherwise it's going to be really loud. All right.
The Dad Matt Show. Hey!
If you smell
Good stuff.
What the rock
You cursed one time in the beginning. That was flipping funny.
is cooking.
You were
I
like,
cursed multiple times.
you really did? Oh, crap.
Yeah.